Okay.
Engage.
Hi guys, as you've probably guessed, I'm going to be talking about knitting. I am going to show you how to knit this really cool Star Trek washcloth that I found the pattern for online because I was just kind of looking around for different knitting ideas and I came across this woman's website. It's wildernesswitch.com. It's this lady named Samantha Rogers, and she had, most of her stuff wasn't Star Trek, but she had this really neat washcloth. And it'll probably end up being like that, about that big when I'm done, like depending on the size of needles that you use and the thickness of the yarn. And you can use it for either a washcloth or a pot holder, or you could just hang it up somewhere or whatever you want to do with it, because I always feel weird actually using the stuff that I've knitted after putting that much time into it. If you don't know how to knit, it's really easy because it's just knitting and purling, and it is only one color. I'm using red because that's what I had around, but you can use any color that you want, and the pattern comes from the alternation between the knitting and the purling, so it kind of has like that raised up 3D look. And if you don't know how to knit and you've been wanting to learn, this is really easy pattern because all you have to know is how to cast onto the needle, how to knit, how to purl, and then how to cast off again. And it isn't a very big project, so it's not going to take a lot of time. So either way, I would definitely recommend trying this out. I've cast on I cast on 34 stitches, and then I've knitted a row here already. But again, if you want to like follow along with this or make your own, the website is wildernesswitch.com. And it is like, this is the page of instructions, so it's really easy. It's only 34 stitches by 54 rows. So we're going to see how this turns out because I haven't knitted this yet. I just found the pattern and I decided just to film it while I was doing it. So I'm not really sure how it's going to turn out. So this is the first 4 rows done, and you can see it kind of has to have started to have that kind of lumpy pattern, and that is what the border is going to look like because of the alternating between like the knitting one way and then you flip it around and you knit it the other way. So the two sides are going to look different. And then once you do the border is going to be 4 stitches wide, and then once you do that, you go on to row 5, and then you'll just knit 4 and then purl all the way across, which is kind of going to make the smooth background for your Starfleet insignia there. Okay, so now I just finished row 22, so I'm a little over halfway done, and I'm not sure if this will show up, but you can see I've like kind of finished like the little legs, and I'm at the point where they just joined up. So that's like a little under halfway done, and it's actually coming along pretty well. Haven't messed up yet. Okay, so I just finished, and now all I have to do is bind off. And I'm actually not that good at binding off. I don't know, because I've been knitting like a lot of hats recently, and you don't have to like bind those off. They just kind of end because you keep decreasing stitches. And the last thing I tried to bind off, like I ended up, like the stitches got really tight. So I'm just going to see how this goes. Sorry about that, my roommate walked in, but as you can see, I finished it, and I did successfully bind it off, surprisingly. And then once you get to the last stitch, you can pretty much just tie that in, to make sure it's knotted well, and then you really can't tell where it is. This is really wrinkled up now, but it should kind of like fall out. And here's your finished product. And it's actually a good size. I don't know if I mentioned that I made Doctor Who ones before, but I used a lot bigger yarn. I think I used a bigger needle. So it turned out like being kind of big and ungainly. You couldn't really use it for anything. But this is actually a decent size. So like you can use it for like a washcloth or whatever you want. And I'm really excited. I'm going to put the link to this down the doobly-doo if you want to link it. It's a link to that woman's website. And also I've come across patterns for more of these. I've seen one for, I think it's the Enterprise from the original series. I think there was only 2. If you go to the website Ravelry.com, if anyone is into knitting or crocheting, you do have to like sign up for a membership. It's free, but you do have to make an account. And they have a lot of pretty cool Star Trek patterns if you want to get more of these or any other ideas for knitting.